Hello, everybody. Welcome back, YouTube. Thank you for joining us again, listeners. Today is a little bit of a different episode for this podcast. This time, I'm flying solo because my friends have been kind of hard to schedule between four of us, and we've been absent for a while. And I wanted to come back and bring you guys something. So I'm posting a little bit, so figured I could bring you guys something about me. So I'm just rambling. I'm just gonna be doing football talk by myself this time. So far the NFL season has been pretty interesting. I mean, we've seen like the Jets go undefeated so far, which really isn't that much of a surprise. But usually coming up on 7 weeks in, teams have at least one win. Looking at you, Dolphins, Browns, Ravens, Titans, Saints. Oh my god, dude. Like it's just tragic for those guys. And maybe they'll turn their season around. Who knows? Garrett Wilson's out now. He hurt his knee. He's going to miss a couple weeks, which is tragic for my fantasy and just for the Jets, but they're also just a tragic organization in general, so that makes sense. That London game against the Broncos was one of the worst things that has happened in the history of football. Oh my god. It was better than that one last year or 2 years ago where it was like Colts Broncos on Thursday night with Russell Wilson on the Broncos. That one was just bad. But like Justin Fields, 45 pass yards when he got sacked a bunch of times for I think 55 yards, so a technically negative 10 passing yards on the day is just not good. Just not something you want to see in general, regardless of what team you root for. Like the Jets, all they got was, let's see, field goal. They must have got like a safety or something, because that's field goal. That's 3. Yeah, it's 9, but it doesn't show on here. Yeah, so like when your offense can't do anything, that's pretty unfortunate. Breece Hall got 60 yards. I gotta feel bad for Breece Hall because he's pretty good, but he's just stuck on the Jets, just on a painfully mid or bad team. And when you're someone that's actually pretty good at football, solid running back, obviously you want to win in any sport, and they do win some games. So far, not this year, but they'll never make the playoffs or Super Bowl or anything anytime soon, which is fairly tragic. Hopefully, he can get traded at some point, or the Jets start doing better, have at least like a winning season. Then it'd probably feel better for him to be on the team, But for now, he's just kind of going to be there and be where it is. J.K. Dobbins got only 40 yards in that game, which sucks because he's on my fantasy. Got me like 4 points. It was terrible. And he's actually good, and the Broncos are actually good this year. But I don't know. Maybe just something in London. Maybe just one of those things where it's like you play to the level of your opponent type thing. So, who knows? We'll see. The Broncos play the Giants this upcoming week, which should be a pretty solid game in Denver. So, in theory, the Broncos are just going to keep on rolling and destroy them. But the Giants, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, looking pretty good. He got 3 touchdowns, 30 points. Granted, this is against the Eagles, who either week to week tend to have an amazing defense or a defense that couldn't compare to like a wet piece of one-ply toilet paper. Like there's really no in between. And as an Eagles fan, it's crazy to watch. It's interesting to sit through. Obviously, we start out the year good. We go 4-0. Then 2 straight losses in tragedy. Like against the Giants, no scoring at all in the second half. Let's see, what did we ended up with here? Barkley only getting 60 yards total, which like as I've kind of said, is partly not all entirely his fault. Like it's mostly the line or the offensive coordinator slash coach, you know, not giving him the greatest play calls or drawing up things. And obviously, I knew and predicted that he wasn't going to have this crazy like MVP record breaking year like he did last year. But I was still hoping he would do, pretty good or be like one of the top running backs in the league, which he definitely still has the potential to. Like in some of these games, there have been times where he's like just about to like break or bust one off for a touchdown. Like they get him at the line or they catch up to him like in the secondary or something. If he could make one guy miss or like break one tackle or something, it'd be all over. But, um, but yeah, so like hopefully the Eagles can turn things around because, let's see team stats here. Only 73 rushing yards total in that game against the Giants. The interception was definitely on Hurts. Like, I mean, that guy was right there. He just jumped it. Clear as day, easiest interception in that guy's life. He should not have thrown it, but that's all right. Hurts in general, since we've got him, has been kind of mid. He either goes from like being amazing to being terrible. Sometimes he knows how to throw. Sometimes he really doesn't. Sometimes he can run pretty good. Sometimes he looks slow or just doesn't want to run or tries to make something happen when he shouldn't or looks lost. Maybe he can't see over the O-line. That is a theory that's been going around. So we don't know. But yeah, that was an interesting game, especially because, right, like I said earlier, Eagles start 4-0. Sounds good. Sounds impressive. I was happy with it. But, like, week 1 against the Cowboys, we get a field goal in the second half. And, like, we won. That's good. We scored. I'll take the points, But it was kind of like a warning sign. The defense got better in the second half, too, because we shut out the Cowboys. But kind of like a warning sign in a way. Because when you look at the other games, it starts to make sense. Because then you go week 2 against the Chiefs. And that one actually seemed better, kind of, in the way of he scored in every quarter. And I think I remember watching the game and being like, okay, Eagles defense, kind of questionable, almost gave up the lead. But that one seemed all right. But obviously, could have been better. Week 3 is where the real problems started to show. And all the cracks started to kind of arise and be more visible. Because the Rams come to Philly, and then, at the end of the first quarter, it's 10-7. We're like, all right. Then the Rams score 19-7.5. It's like, okay. Then they score again, and it was 26-3. 26-7. And like halfway through the third or something. Actually, not halfway, but a couple minutes into the third. And I'm like, all right, great. So we lose this game. That's fine. Just accept it, move on, give up hope. But then somehow they turn it back on, come back, and then the Rams still would have won. But then we got a miracle block on the field goal, which was awesome. Jordan Davis, this big giant man, runs all the way down the field from like the 45, like midfield or whatever, basically, takes it back for a touchdown, boom, win. When in a game we should have lost. Thankful we didn't, but the fact that we had to win with a blocked field goal is kind of like concerning. Obviously I'm not expecting like, oh, the Eagles need to go out here and blow these guys out. We're putting 50 on them. It's going to be like 50-10. We're going to destroy them. Like that type of thing. No. Unrealistic. Could happen. Would be awesome. But just no. Like not a normal thing that would happen. Not a normal thing that you would expect to prepare yourself for mentally and emotionally. But so okay, that happens. We're like, all right, we'll take it. Seems good. Move on to next week. Going to Tampa. Now I was expecting to lose this game because every time in the past few years when the Eagles have gone down to Tampa Bay, they've had our number. They've got us. The playoffs, the playoff time before that against Brady, and just a couple other regular season games. Just don't know what it is, but every time we'd go into Tampa, we'd lost. So I was expecting that, but still hopeful. And then we come into halftime of this game, 24-6, and I'm like, all right, cool. We're actually looking pretty good. Block a punt immediately. Defense is good. Offense is working. We're scoring, getting the lead. That's all that really matters. And then we get another score with the fake tush push in the third. That was really cool. But then we give the 2 giant touchdowns with Baker to like Ibuka and I think Irving immediately. And it's like, okay, now all of a sudden they're back in this game. Like it's 20 to 31. Yeah. And they get another score. They get a field goal. And it's like, oh, okay. And then thankfully we got some interceptions. So our defense came in clutch again. But the offense was stalling and couldn't do anything with it. Like typical Eagles fashion. Get the ball back. 3 and out. Especially in this game against the Bucks. Because A.J. Brown had been pretty quiet. Except for against the Rams. And then he was, I think, supposedly complaining about not getting the ball. And I had A.J. Brown in my fantasy. So I was like, come on, let this man get him. Get the ball, do some action, give some points here. But on one of the drives, they literally did 3 passes right to A.J. Brown. And part of them could be Hurts' fault. Like, weren't the greatest throws. But also, I mean, he's got to try to catch those. One of them, I think the defense was like, the guy was like already all over him. And no disrespect to A.J. Brown, and I'm saying like he's a bad player and anything. Like, I don't know if I could have made those catches, but like, come on, man. Like, you can't complain about wanting to get the ball and stuff and then not, like, make it happen. Come in clutch for the team. But then, somehow, we get the ball back. We get stopped. And then we have to punt. But we just go and run out the clock and go out to the end zone for safety. So we won by 6 points. 1-score game, just like against the Rams, which is good. You want the wins, take the W, move on. But the problems were there. Like, you could see the offense stalling. And I don't know if it's most likely the offensive coordinator. I think the play calling is not great. Eagles play calling has never even really been great. I mean, the meme this year is that they give him a box of crayons and he's writing something, Like against the Giants, we did a tush push on the goal line 4 times in a row. We got the score, but it's like, come on, man. Like, I get if it works, but like, I don't know. At the same time, you could fake it. You could do a pitch. You could do a play action. You could do something. Like, the Eagles play call has been pistol formation, Barkley up the middle, first down, pretty much every time, or some sort of Barkley run up the middle, first down. Almost every time. Which, I'm in support of getting Barkley the ball. I agree with feeding him the ball. I think we should run Barkley. I think we should do the running game. That's part of football. You can't do all pass. Can't do all run either. You gotta have a good mix of both. That's the best offense right there. But when you're doing essentially the same thing every time, the other teams are going to figure it out and get used to it. Like, they were stacking the box. They were ready. They would just see it. He would get stuffed. And then so we got Barkley run, we got push, we got screen, we got deep bomb. That's pretty much all it really is. And in the Giants game, we still wouldn't have won that game, but the one where Hurts overthrew Devontae Smith and he was wide open for the touchdown, that could have been momentum swing, could have been a kickstart, could have been something, but it didn't happen, and it was pretty unfortunate to see. But I was kind of thinking that the Eagles might lose that game anyway. I was just hoping not to, but and I think I don't remember which game it was, but in one of the games, AJ Brown runs down the field, gets open, and then kind of slows down for a second because he's expecting not to get the ball or something. Like he didn't think Hurts would see him, which could be a fair point. And then he throws it, and then he couldn't get it for an easy touchdown because he slowed up, for a moment. So went over his head. Which part of this is on Jalen? But it's also kind of hard, when you're yeeting the ball like 50 yards. Like I throw a football, I can barely even throw 20 yards. But when you're yeeting it like 50 yards down the field, you see that you just throw it as hard as you can. Like obviously really good quarterbacks can get good at kind of like estimating or putting like just the right stuff on it, drop it right in the bucket. Perfect sense of power and stuff like that. But that's very difficult, and it's not likely or expected to happen every play. No one's going to make every throw. Like, that'd be insane. I don't even know if there's been a game where a quarterback has 100% completion rate. Like, even like screens or checkdowns. But some of them come pretty close. Like, some do really good. And that's awesome to see. Like, I think Jared Goff has had a couple games where he's done really well, or at least like he didn't have an incompletion in the first half or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Stafford did at some point. Maybe Baker, Brady. Like, being a QB is hard. And like sometimes with the Eagles, they let Jalen Hurts do the play calls. Like obviously he can make an audible or whatever on the line. Sometimes, especially if they do no huddle, probably he's just kind of running it in control, which they should probably do more of to kind of keep the defense on its heels. Or like we need to get under center more to kind of like change up the formation, not always shotgun or pistol. Then like, oh, okay, it's probably gonna be this. So they play the Vikings this week. I'm not too sure how that's gonna go. Hopeful. I'd like to see the Eagles get a win, get back on track, turn the season around. It sounds kind of dramatic because obviously at 4-2 with like 11 weeks left to go, the season's not over by any means. But from watching this team, just my personal perspective, it could be. Like, I'm seeing remnants. I don't want it to happen. I don't want to put it out there, but I'm kind of smelling the remnants of the 2023 collapse. Where you go 10-1 and then just go from like 1 seed all the way down to the wild card and then get destroyed. Now, hopefully it doesn't happen again. Obviously, if the Eagles make the playoffs, be happy with that. Hopefully, if they do, they don't lose right immediately in the wild card. I obviously don't want them to lose at all. I want them to go back and repeat the Super Bowl. That'd be amazing. But I'm hopeful. It's possible. It's not entirely likely. But we don't know. I don't know. The Eagles could all of a sudden get their stuff together, win like 15 games straight. Who knows? They could not win a game the rest of the year. Who knows? Like, I'm not up there to say. Like, anything can happen in football, man. You got the Falcons, who go from getting shut out by the Panthers, which is crazy, first of all, to beating the Bills, who are one of the top teams. And, like, the Bills are also kind of in a worrying state, too. Because they've had, situations kind of like us. They start 4-0, and then, Josh Allen throws a couple picks. He got enough points, still got me 15 to get the win in fantasy. Just barely, that was close. I won by 3. It was stressful. I should have played Jaden Daniels, but you know what? We got the job done. And then they lose to the Patriots and the Falcons. Like, two teams that are generally not good. Two teams that didn't start the year out good. Which, if we look at right now, currently, Patriots are tied with the Bills 4-2 for the top of the division. They've won 3 in a row, including that game on the Bills, which was crazy. Like, obviously, division games are competitive, and everybody hopes for it to be a good game. Unless you're like a Bills fan, you don't want to see the Bills blow them out like 80-12 or something. It'd be really funny, but we got the Falcons who are 3-2. They've won 2 in a row. So them and the Panthers have also won 2 in a row. Like it's coming up. They're trending up. Um, the Cowboys and the Packers tied 40-40. Like that's crazy. Not only the fact that we had a tie, but the fact that they still scored 80 total points and tied. Like there was barely any defense in that game. Nobody could stop anything. The Packers defense looked good for like the first quarter, and then the Cowboys blocked an extra point attempt, and then that just kind of swung the momentum back in their way, and then and it was back and forth, and then you go into overtime when there actually was kind of defense because they both stopped and they both kicked a field goal, and they're like, all right, okay, all right, we didn't lose, we're done, it's a tie, wrap it up, go home. Which is hilarious because that game did not look fun at all in the beginning, and then it was actually pretty good. I don't know how that would be as a Cowboys fan because in a way, like a tie is technically not worse than a loss. It's better than a loss essentially, but also in a way it kind of is. It's like you didn't lose, but you couldn't win. Like you still put up 40 and couldn't win. Most teams that score 40 generally win. Except the Ravens against the Bills week 1, unfortunately, which that was a crazy game. 40-41, Bills win by 1. Because Derrick Henry fumbles and then the Bills get it back and do like some crazy drives and get a last-second field goal. It's just crazy. Like, no one would ever expect that to happen. Everybody knew that was going to be a good game. Playoff rematch, Lamar, Allen, Henry. You're expecting it to be crazy, and it did. They went off. Like, I'm in 2 separate fantasy football leagues, one for friends, one for work, and I have Henry, Allen, and Lamar across those 2 leagues. And I got the win week 1 because of that. Because in both leagues, I pulled it out because Lamar got 30 points. And then Josh Allen got 40. And then Derrick Henry got 30. So, you see that, and that happens. And I'm like, oh, I'm chilling. It was beautiful. But then, in the work league, it's just been losses after that. 5 losses down. But also, like, Mike Evans gets hurt. Terry McLaurin gets hurt. Which, I guess, granted, Terry McLaurin hadn't really done anything before that. But it is still unfortunate. I guess Mike Evans didn't get incredibly many points before that, too. He got 13. But still, it's like, I need guys. I need dudes. I'm leaning on Cooper Kupp here. Which, the most he's got is 16. Or, like... then Derrick Henry hasn't done anything, so I had to bench him. And Garrett Wilson, like I said earlier, is now hurt, so I got to scramble to find a receiver there. I was able to pick up Jalen Waddle, thankfully, which is good because he got 15 last week. Helped me win there, that's something. So, who knows? We'll see. Like, the Saints beat the Giants for their first and only win so far. That was pretty good. Kind of a dumpster bowl of a game, but the Saints were in the game against the Niners and the Patriots, but other than that, and the Cardinals, they only lost by a touchdown. But other than that, they got blown out by the Seahawks, unsurprisingly. Lost to the Bills by like 11. unsurprisingly. Or 12. So we'll see how they can turn it around. The Chiefs started bad, but then they're coming back because their usual Chiefs devil magic, you know. Apparently, I didn't really watch much of that game, but I heard a rumor supposedly that the Chiefs didn't actually get any penalties on them against the Lions. I can't tell. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, on Google. For zero? Like, there's no way. Like, come on, man. Literally zero penalties. Like, I mean, I can understand playing clean football and stuff, and part of it is just because the Chiefs and there's the meme of the refs helping them and stuff like that. But at the same time, at a certain point, like, you're telling me seriously nobody false started, nobody like offsides, nobody. I mean, the defense could have been playing really clean, no PI, no whatever, but I mean, it's not likely. Every team usually has at least one penalty. The Lions only had four, which is really not that bad. But like comparison, let's see. Yeah, if you go back to when the Eagles played the Buccaneers, we got 8 called on us and they got 5. Like, you know, team stats. Yeah, 4 and 5. Like, real penalty games have some kind of penalties in them, at least. Like, here, let's go Panthers Cowboys. Yeah, 12 penalties total, 6 on each. Oh, that's crazy, actually. Um, yeah, the Panthers could be coming back. Rico Dowdle's kind of been going insane. I wonder if they're even going to play Chuba Hubbard when he comes back at that point. I'm not sure. We'll have to see just because of how good Dowdle's been doing. Um, yeah, it's been a wild, interesting season. Like right now, yeah, we got Eagles, Lions, Bucks, Niners. The NFC West is a wild division. 3 teams, 4-2, tied for first. The 49ers Rams Thursday night game that went in overtime was pretty intense. Like Kyron Williams fumbling. I think they went for it on fourth, got stopped. Mac Jones coming out and slinging it out of nowhere. Looking good. Better than he has been in the past couple of years. You know, Patriots Bills tied for first. Steelers with a 2-game lead in the AFC North. Tomorrow night, this Thursday night, the Unk Bowl, the Dinosaur Bowl, the Grandma or Grandpa SmackDown, fucking Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco, both over 40 out here starting. So, we're going to see. That should actually be a pretty good game. Steelers go Super Bowl? Oh, God, no. I can't take it seriously, and it kind of pains me to say it, but shout out Tom Grossi, one of my favorite YouTubers, king of football YouTubers. That's just, if anyone doesn't know, he does a thing where he has like a jersey of every team, and every week he does a reaction of them. I gotta watch his video for this week, by the way. But that's usually what he does for Steelers. You know, if they win a couple times, he'll be like, Steelers go Super Bowl. Or if they lose a bunch, he'll like say it sadly, like, Steelers go Super Bowl. Like, it's great. It's awesome. Colts 5-1. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones. Who the hell would have known? Who would have thought that all he needed to do was get off the Giants, and he'd go insane. He'd go off. Chargers Broncos tied for first in the AFC West. Raiders at the bottom, not surprisingly. Hopefully the Chiefs miss the playoffs this year. God, I hope so. That'd be great. So, I'm not sure. The Eagles got to figure it out, man. Something's got to change. But let's see. What games do we got coming up this week? The last of the London games, Rams Jaguars. Which that could be pretty interesting. Jaguars might win. They usually do pretty good in London. Patriots Titans. Patriots should win. Kind of a dumpster bowl, but Patriots aren't too dumpster right now. Panthers, Jets. Panthers probably easy dub. Dolphins, Browns. That's a trash bowl. I think the Dolphins got it. Saints, Bears. Bears all the way. Raiders, Chiefs. Gotta go Chiefs. Hoping for Raiders maybe. Colts, Chargers. That could actually be a pretty solid game. I think the Colts got it though. Giants, Broncos. Broncos, Packers, Cardinals. Packers, Commanders, Cowboys. I mean, I really don't know. Maybe Commanders. Falcons, Niners. Maybe the Niners. Bucks, Lions. That should be a great game. Honestly, could go either way. And Detroit's gonna be wearing their black alternate uniforms, which would be really cool. I think they might not have done good historically in those, so could turn it around. Could follow the trend. Texans, Seahawks. Seahawks should win that one. That is insane, though, that they are going to put that game to start at 8 p.m. on Monday night. Like, the Monday night doubleheaders are kind of interesting. Like, I like them, but I also don't like them. And I think the reason they're doing this is probably because some people were like, why are you having the doubleheader? Why are they oversecting? We can't watch both games or something. I mean, you could just watch one when it's a commercial and one when it's a halftime or something like that. But starting a game at 8 is diabolical, especially for the people on the East Coast. That's 10 o'clock for them. Like, I don't even know if they're going to watch it. Or if they do, they're going to be up super late. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe what they could do is like how they have, instead of doing a Monday doubleheader, how they have the super early game Sunday for like London or whatever, 7:30. Just not have it in London and put another game, like take the second Monday night game and put it at like 9:30 or something. Just a little bit earlier, a little bit before the normal games, but nothing crazy. But who knows? NFL's crazy, NFL's wild. They'll do what they want to do. And to anyone who came out and listened to this, hope you enjoyed. I might do more solo ones like this. This is actually pretty fun, just kind of sitting here, rambling, BSing. So if you enjoy me talking, leave a like, leave a comment. We'll be back with more regular episodes with either the full squad or 2 or 3, because that was part of the thing. You know, one person would flake and everybody else would be like, I don't want to do it without them. And I'm like, I kind of understand that, but also partly on me. But it's like, it's been weeks since we've done an episode. I would like to do an episode, but I also don't want to leave people out. But yes, thank you. Hope you enjoyed. This has been Trust a Podcast, solo podcast nadir edition, and we'll catch you in the next one.